5 of the best and weirdest tech at CES 2024. Let's go. Alright, so at number 1 we have Lenovo's ThinkBook Plus Gen 5 Hybrid, which lets you turn your laptop's screen into an Android tablet. Now, lots of PCs turn into or are already tablets, but hardly any lets you tear off a screen to use as an Android tablet. I mean, you probably shouldn't tear off anything of Lenovo's $2,000 ThinkBook Plus Gen 5 Hybrid anyway, but you can indeed pop off its 14-inch screen for some Netflix, web browsing, or some mobile gaming when the urge rises. The high-end Qualcomm chipset inside should make sure everything runs at a more than respectable clip. Even better though, you can connect the remaining bottom half to another monitor, at which point it will continue functioning as a full-blown Windows computer. This is about as out there as laptops concepts get, but Lenovo really does intend to sell this thing. The company says it will be available for purchase later in the second quarter. Alright, so at number 2 we have the Rabbit R1. Now, the best and easiest way to think about the Rabbit R1 is like an AI-powered walkie-talkie with a screen. Just hold down the button, ask it something, say a recipe for an omelet, or play a certain track and wait for it to respond, which admittedly does not sound all that interesting at first. The real draw is the fact that R1's software is powered by a large action model, which means it's been trained to interact with apps and services we commonly use anyway. Ask it to show you flights to San Diego, for example, and the R1 essentially handles all the clicking and tapping that you would normally do in the background before reading the results out loud. Ask it to book the flight, and it interacts with the service to do just that. In other words, it just does all the doing for you. Now, it's a grandiose promise, but one that we may get to test very soon because the company says it plans to ship R1s to customers in the United States before Easter. Now, the tiny gadget isn't meant to replace your smartphone, but it does want to prove that there's a better way to get things done. Alright, so at number 3 we have the 𝐂𝐓𝐇 keyboard. Now, at first look, the 𝐂𝐓𝐇 Technology $139 iPhone keyboard case comes off as a lover to old school BlackBerry fans. And it is. But this accessory isn't just for people who miss their old phones. The company believes these physical keys could help people who have trouble typing on slick, feedback-free glass screens, be it because of preference or a physical impairment such as blindness. Out of the box, the 𝐂𝐓𝐇 keyboards also supports a handful of iOS shortcuts that lets you scroll through web pages or open Spotlight's search with a few button presses. And the company is exploring ways to turn all those keys into shortcuts for other things you do frequently on your iPhone. Now, that could be a boon for power users, creators, and others who just want to get things done a little faster. Alright, so at number 4 we have Bali, a friendly robot that's a little bigger and heavier than a bowling ball. It can project movies and video calls onto walls, interact with smart appliances, keep tabs on your pets, and more. It's very different from other homebound machines Samsung makes, such as the company's motorized mops and vacuum cleaners. Bali is by design a more general purpose assistant. And it's not alone. LG is also planning to release an AI home robot that does a little bit of everything in 2025 too. Now, these companies are clearly convinced these machines have a role to play in our lives. The bigger question is whether you and I actually feel the same way. Alright, so at number 5 we have the Lotus Ring. Now, lots of rings at CES want to monitor your health, but this one is meant to control objects around your home. Now, there's not much to it. Essentially, it is a ring that has a clicky button that when you press, it sends comments to compatible Lotus smart home products that can flick off light switches and turn on plugged in appliances and your TV and things like that. It's pretty cool though. Alright, so that's it. These are 5 of the best and weirdest tech at CES this year. Now, if you like this content, please consider liking, subscribing, sharing. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.